The benefits of an international talent, and we've done some research on this as well, and it showed this, is that about 35% of institutional investors' valuation attributed to non-financial measures. Now that's partly the caliber and the strength of the management team, partly things like brand reputation and so on, but almost a third of the valuation of an organization is not on the finances specifically. And the two things that they most look at is, does the company have an ability to attract and retain talent, and what is the caliber of the management team? Can they execute this strategy? Everybody has basically the same strategy. World's best something at something. Okay, just fill in the blanks. Okay, that's every company's strategy. Some will get there and some won't. And the difference is, do they have the talent to execute the plan? This is sort of a then and now picture. Top half of the slide, if you think back years and years ago, this is the luxury that companies had. Lots of people for each job. Companies had the luxury of a lot of choice. You'd put a job in the paper, get 100 applicants, put people through a whole bunch of hoops. These days, it's more like the bottom half of the slide. Not as many jobs, but even fewer people to fill it. Some of the main benefits of international talent are these. The first and foremost, innovation, right? New ideas from other cultures, industries, geographies, organizations, hugely helpful. Second one is the whole fresh blood syndrome, just getting some new thinking into organizations, right? Companies, when left to their own, get insular, they get siloed, and they get a bit stagnant, and they get a little bit of thinking going that says that the answer is here, we just have to find it. And so companies that tend to bring in other folks at times, whether it's through consulting or through their hiring practices and so on, tend to have more of an outward focus. Number three, a lot of the organizations that you deal with might insist that you have an employee base that's similar to the customer base that you're serving. So it's great to be able to go to the marketplace and say, hey, the makeup of our organization is not unlike the market that we serve. Number four, it does give you an expanded network, connections, and relationships. All different people, different geographies, cross-culture, cross-gender, cross-generation. Really then opens up the network of contacts that you can make and establish and build and network within, which grows business over time as well. So number five is similar to that, extremely helpful for finding new business relationships. It also gives you access to a broader talent pool. Number seven is, if you want to do business globally, you better be deploying a global workforce. Okay, when you start doing business in other countries, they do business a little differently. They want to see that you know that, can do that, maybe have some people around that have done that before. Number eight is a little tongue-in-cheek thing, but there is this thing called profit from another land syndrome. How many of you have ever said something internally, and then you bring in somebody else from the outside, maybe a consultant or something like that, they say the same thing you've been saying, and now it's, whoa, now it's really credible and really all of that, right? And believe me, organizations do prefer to deal with partners who understand them. So if they're global, they want to deal with other people that are global. And number 10, you'll find it'll also just broaden the perspective of the people who work for you as well. So quite a list, and the list could go on.